Okay, this is part 2, and we're going to continue with question 6. They've given us another problem that's pretty tough. It appears to be probably 5th, 6th, or maybe even higher in grade level work. The area model below is used to solve a multiplication problem. This is an area model. It looks like a rectangle, and they have measurements 3 by 7, which is relative to multiplication. But then they've taken these sums, 20 times 10, 200, 3 times 10, 30, 20 times 7, 140, 3 times 7, 21, and they've added them together to get 391, which would be the total area of this large rectangle. We're to fill in the multiplication problem that goes with this area model. So if we knew the measurements of the length times the width, then we could figure out the multiplication down here. The practice hint is use sticky notes to turn on the sticky note tool. So we could use this and put a new sticky note in. We could put it over here. We click there, and we could put L times width equals area of a rectangle, and length times the width. Some of us may know that. And but we're trying to come up with two numbers that would multiply together to get 391. If we look over here, 3 times 7, this is a 3 measurement here, and this is a 20. And then going this way, this is going 7 up this way and going 10 up this way. So if this is a measurement 7 plus 10, that'd be 17. And the width would be 3 plus 20 would be 23. And in doing that, if we did the multiplication, now for the actual test, I don't know if we'll have scratch paper. But if we had scratch paper, we could multiply out 17 times 23. Trying to do that in our head is pretty hard. But that should be the numbers that should be able to fit in these boxes down here. Because 17 would be maybe a width or a length, and 3 plus 20 is 23, so I'm going to go with 23 times 17, which I think is a 391. Now if I had a calculator, or if I had a calculator button up here, because sometimes they do allow us to use a calculator, then I could check that work, but they wanted me to be able to use an area model. This is the skill they're trying to check with us, to see if we could find out, understand what area is, and how to use an area model to deduct or reason out that these would be the two answers that we would drop into this multiplication problem. So I think that's correct, so we'll go on to the next problem. Now we have another problem. It looks like a bookshelf and books. But before we read this, I'm going to go over here and click on this question mark. We're going to open this, and we see what this is it's using help. It tells us how to use the help button. We have test directions. We have tools and how to use the tools. And how to close help, we click on the X. It tells you that down in this bottom down here. Some of these things we just know because we've worked with computers, but reading things over doesn't hurt. Test directions says welcome to the spring summative assessment early preview, and we've read this before. Look for the grade and content specifics previews in January or late January. They'll start giving us some individual grade level specific views. Here are tools that we can use that are turned on up here. The pointer is turned on right there. It tells us how to use the pointer. It tells us how to use the cross off. And remember, we tried using the cross off before and it wouldn't work for us. Now the cross off isn't up in here on these tools. Highlighter, and we do have a highlighter for this one. We could turn it on if we wanted to. Sticky notes we've been using. Magnifier, we haven't really used a magnifier, but if you wanted to magnify the screen, you could turn that on. The line guide, let's read about the line guide, is a tool that provides horizontal lines that brings the focus to a single line of text. Click on the line guide button. A single blue line with a blue handle will appear. Use your mouse to move the line or handle up or down, and then click on the line guide button again, or to close it, click on the pointer button. There's a calculator that we can use on some problems. And it's a basic calculator. It will appear on screen, and there we see it right there. So let's close our tools, our how-to, and let's get back over here. And they're telling us that Clayton puts 18 books in a bookcase. So these are books, and this is a bookcase. He puts the same number of books on each shelf. Move groups of books to the bookcase to show how Clayton could arrange them. He's to put 18. So how could he arrange them? There's probably more than one possible answer for this. Here's 5 books, so let's put 5 here, and let's put another 5 here. We're up to, how many is that? 10. And now we're up to 5, 10, 15. If we take another 5, that'd put us to 20. We only want to go to 18. If we add a 4, that'd take us to 19. If we click the 3 and bring them over here, let's count, see how many books we have now. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. That is a possible answer. He puts the same number of books on each shelf. Whoops, right here. We went back and we reread the problem to check our work. It says he puts the same number of books on each shelf. Move groups of books to the bookcase to show how Clayton could arrange them. If he puts the same number of books on each shelf, we got 3 here, but we got 5, so that wouldn't work. So let's click our erase button. If we divide 18 by 3, we get 6. How many rows do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go with 3s. 3, you can count with me, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 3 more would make 18. Now he puts the same number of books on each shelf. We have the same number on each shelf. We have 18 going up. I think that would be the answer to this one. Let's click and go on. Now we have question 9 in the Spring 15 preview. These are the tools available. It says Miss Eva is putting nails into smaller boxes for student projects. She has 386 nails in 8 boxes. She will put the same number of nails into each box. Point inside the boxes to enter your answers. What is the greatest number of nails that Miss Eva can put into each box? It says, we can reread the problem, make sure we understand. So she's putting nails in these boxes for her students. She's a teacher, and she has 386 nails, and she has 8 boxes. She will put the same number of nails into each box. What is the greatest number of nails that Mrs. Eva can put in each box? Well, let's see. 8 would go into, if we took 386 and divided by 8 times, and here we don't have a calculator, but we can use the sticky notes. Help me organize my thoughts. And so 386 divided by 8 equals, we don't have a calculator, but if we round it off by grouping, let's say 386 is close to 400. 400 divided by 8 is 50. So the question is, what is the greatest number of nails that Miss Eva can put into each box? Probably, if she wanted to put some in each box, she could go with 50, but she wouldn't. She'd only have 36 in the last box. So she will put the same number of nails into each box. So we really want to divide out exactly. So here we would, and we don't have a calculator, so we'd have to do some scratch work. And if we have paper, that would be the ideal thing to do, is paper and pencil. So it looks like we would have let's see, 386, 40. What's kind of interesting is there's 386, so that's an even number, so it may work out. If we try about 48, let's see, 48 times 8 would be 320 plus 8 times 320, so 40, and then 8 times 8 is 64. That would add up to 384. 384. I really miss using paper and pencil. It's a lot easier for me to use paper and pencil than try to do it on this little sticky pad. 384, so, and there would be 2 left over. So what is the greatest number of nails that Eva can put in each box? I'm going to go with 48. And then we still haven't submitted our answer because they want us to do some more work. Miss Eva found 2 more nails and now has 388 nails. Are there enough nails to put 1 more in each box? Now that she has 388 nails instead of 386, explain how the remainder from part A can help the answer. Oh boy, so they want us to explain our reasoning behind this. And the answer is yes, there would be enough because 320, or if we group the 386 nails into 8 boxes, we have 2 left over. We have 2 left over, so we could use two more nails, and then we would be grouping 388 nails into 8 boxes, and that would allow 48 in each box and still have 2 boxes. So actually we could have 390, or if we had 390, we had 390 divided by 8. What's so hard with this is I would want to use paper and pencil rather than trying to type it all out. Even on myself messing with working with the technology, it makes it extremely difficult to solve the problem for me. And so let's go back and read the question here. It says, Miss Eva found 2 more nails and now has 38 nails. Are there enough nails to put 1 more in each box now that she has 388 nails instead of 386? I think the answer is yes. So because if we would, instead of saying 48, say 49. As we read over it again, though, what we see and realize is that we want to have the same number in each box. So 49, no, she still, actually the answer is no. There would be enough room to add them in, but she wants to keep the same number in each box. So no, there would not be enough, because if we, and we probably need to erase some of this. No, there would not be enough, because 49 times 8 equals, we know that